Welcome back. Now we'll head over to Casey Williams, who has the story on why we love sports. Today on Mind Cranking Mondays, we're talking about why sports matter. That's 5 reasons on why sports matter. The first one would be sports inspire us. This is kind of an obvious one, but it's true, and it's one that has to be brought up just because it's so true. And basically, sports inspire us. If you go watch a motivational video, I guarantee you that 99.99999 infinite number nines percent of the time, it's gonna have some running or not running sports clip in it, because that's what inspires us. And I'm gonna include lifting and working out with that too, because that tends to be a popular one also. But it inspires us. We like to see the impossible being done. For example, in the Olympics, or it might not even been necessarily just the Olympics, but back in the day, it was thought impossible to run under a 4-minute mile time. And they went for years with never running under a 4-minute mile. And finally, a guy did it, I can't remember his name. Roger Bannister. He was the first guy to run under a 4-minute mile. And it was amazing when he did it, because everybody thought it was impossible. And finally, the impossible was possible. And now they do it all the time. So we love sports because it inspires us. We like to see, oh, I can do this one thing because they did this thing over there. Number 2, emotion. We want emotion. We was talking about this last week in my theology class, is that we want to, like, if we want to be sad, we'll go be sad. We'll find some reason to be sad. We'll find a movie, song, whatever. But we're going to get sad if we want to feel sad. We want emotion. And that's what sports gives us, is we get to feel sad when our team's doing bad. We get to feel amazing when our team's doing great. And then we get to feel like just kind of angry and debative. We like to be a debatosaurus. Where, like, if we're doing all right, we just want to go over there and be like, oh yeah, well, my team doesn't have it right now, but just you wait, we can got it in a second. Did you see that game last night? They got it in the bag, and they can go win the Super Bowl. Number 3, to belong. For example, like, I claim the Dallas Cowboys because I was raised in the Cowboys family. I don't watch the games that much, just because I don't watch sports in general very much. Just for what I'm fine with watching it, I just don't watch it. But we want to feel belong. We say, oh, that's my team. We did great last week, type thing. Even though, were you in the game? No, but you still say we. We want to belong to something that's greater than us. So that's why we love sports, is because we want to belong to something that's bigger than us. We want to belong to something that's doing great and it can overcome. Number 4, survival. We want to survive, obviously, and the survival instinct comes out in sports nature. Basically, you have the offensive team trying to reach their objective, and the other team is throwing their bodies at the offensive team, trying to get them to stop, to keep them from achieving their objective. And that's kind of like a survival sense, in a way. It's like you're fighting for your tribe, and you're not gonna let the other tribe win, because if you do, and your tribe doesn't get to win. And so we love sports because it's that factor of instinct and survival in us, of trying to watch out for your friends, family, your tribe per se, and trying to keep the other enemy people from reaching their goal so that you can get your goal accomplished. Number 5, it is life. It's true, because sports, takes us, there's always going to be times when you're defeated, and when you're down, and that's the same way in life. You always have those rough moments, but more often than not, you're always going to overcome. And the only people that don't ever overcome are the people that just give up and don't do what is necessary to overcome. And then you see the same thing in sports, is you have teams that have bad years, and then they come back and do great again. So, like, example, the Boston Red Sox. They started off, and they were the first dynasty, they like to say. They were doing great, as we often sometimes do. Sometimes in life, we don't ever experience something bad. We're doing great, then something will happen, we go terrible again, and in their case, they went like 70 years, 80 years, and then they started doing good again. Now they're a pretty big factor team in the MLB again. They're relevant. Sports takes us from the good, it represents the good in life when we're doing great, but then it also represents when we're doing terrible, and then we can go overcome and do great again, and then terrible and great again, just like life. And example is in 1 Corinthians 9:24. Paul talks about this. He connects life with running, and he says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises," this is 25, "every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable." At the end of that, he's talking about Jesus. But to connect it more, before that he's talking about connecting running with life, and that we're running to obtain something, and every runner runs a race. Every person in this world is in a race for something, and you must run harder to obtain it. And that is the 5 reasons on why we love sports. Now back to Williams in the booth. Well done, Casey. I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe so I can make more of these videos.